Okay, let's dive into the long-awaited strings. String is basically just a sequence of characters, and it's a data type. It's kind of a data type in Python. It's much more powerful. The reason of making this a whole new data type in almost every language is the reason is that almost all the data, all the text that appears in sequence of characters, so making that sequence of character the whole text as one kind of data type and writing special kind of functions to deal with that text might be necessary, and that's what string is. In Python, for example, you can declare a string variable s or any variable name by just double quotes, let's say a, b, c, or equivalently by single quotes. Either way is fine, d, e, f. So either way is fine. You can declare using double quotes or single quotes. Either way is fine. One thing is, be careful, don't mix, don't start by single quote and think that now I will end with double quote and that will be fine. So don't mix them together. If you're using single quotes, use single quotes. If you're using double quotes, use double quotes. Don't mix them together. That might be much more confusing later on. So let's say this s is a string. Python is the best language for data science. Let's say t is another string that is defined by single quotes. In this course we are going to learn Python. Then you can print s in a different way. Let's say you can call a print s, you can call a print to t, or you can just, by the way, you can add two string variables s and t, and the result is a new variable, that's a v. How the plus symbol works in strings is, plus in strings means just concatenate them together. So first you just copy this string, the whole string, and then you just concatenate the other string with it, and the result is a new string. Now that's a new variable. You can use that variable and do a lot of stuff with it. So let's go to Python and see actually the prints the strings in the running form. So let's say s is string. Let's say Python is a good language, let's say, and let's have another string t that is using single quotes. It's good for data science, science. Okay, it's good for data science. Let's run these two and see the type of s. What's the type of s? The type is str, string, str. That's what the type is. And if you just print s, that will be printed. Python is a good language. Remember, so far we are using this print, and always we use this kind of hello or something like that. That basically is a string because, by the way, this print function actually it takes an arbitrary number of arguments. We can print hello, then we can print anything in another type, then we can print another hello, let's say hello 2. That's a multi-variable argument function print. Then we can have another string, maybe who are you, and then maybe a floating point number 5.9. So we have used these kind of stuff a lot. We have used print function, and we were using these double quotes again and again, but these are actually strings that we were using later there. So this print function actually accepts strings and all these kind of, normally whenever you use print, normally you're going to actually display some text, and maybe you're writing that text into some file and so on. So this string is highly useful. Most of the data is available in the text form, in the string form, and we want to process the data, we want to find the anomalies in data, we want to fix them. Again, we want to stay in the text. So it is good to have a data type that actually have a lot of functionality that handles all that stuff. So let's see, for example, let's see how can we concatenate the two strings. For example, s and t. Let's say we have v, that is s plus t. That's concatenated v, and let's print v, and v is concatenated. Wow, Python is a good language. It's good for data science. Well, it is concatenated, but there is no space between two, because wherever the first string ends, the second string starts right from there. What if we concatenate three strings? S plus another string that just contains a space character, then this string. By the way, whatever that is there in double quotes or single quotes, whatever, one character, two character, all these things are called strings. So now we are concatenating three strings together: S, a space, one space string that contains just a space character, then T. And let's see what happens now. So Python is a good language, space, it's good for data science and so on. Wow. So yeah, so that's basically the introduction of string. What if we want, for example, to concatenate, what if we have a variable a, which is 12, and let's say we have a variable b, which is the price of this book. Let's say the price of this book, and a is 12. So let's say this is our price. Now price is in integer form, s is in book form. Let's say we want to make another string v that contains the following kind of thing: the price of this book is, and then whatever the price is, that should be there. So how can we do that? So let's say s plus maybe another string is, then maybe a space, so that after that the price appears. Now if we write plus and write price, price is no longer a string, it is an integer, and an integer cannot be concatenated with the string in a straightforward way like plus. How can we make a message like the price of this book is whatever the value of the price is? One way to do that is to convert the variable price, convert the type of the variable of price from integer to string. That means whatever the value, in this case 12, is written, that becomes a string of characters 1 and 2, and now it can be concatenated with the rest of the string, and we will contain the message that we want. So for example, if we now see what is v, that is the price of this book is 12. Oh, we don't have a space before is, so let's type a space there. Space is also a character, can be handled in string. Wow. So that's how we can convert different types to string. We can have a float type, we can convert that to string, and so on. Another way of doing the same, achieving the same kind of stuff, is to write print the price of this book is, we can use the power of the variable number of arguments of, then price. That's exactly the same thing. The price of this book is 12, the price of this book. However, consider one thing: the print function automatically adds the space for different kind of arguments. You can see that here. Yeah, you need not to specify a space. The space is automatically added if it is considered to be a different argument in the print function. Okay, great. So that's the introduction of a string. We are going to explore string much in a much more detail in the upcoming videos. So stay with us. We are going to see string in much more detail. Okay, hope to see you in the next video. A string might be very lengthy or may span, very lengthy and may span more than one lines. Or maybe the formatting is in a way that you want to, even if it is not very lengthy, you still want the different chunks of the same string to be appear in different lines. So there is a way to declare multi-line string, again using either 3 single quotes or 3 double quotes, and then 3 double quotes or single quotes, whatever convention you follow. And then you write all the string in no matter how many lines you want, and that one variable actually contains a multi-line string. If you now print, for example, if you call the print function on this multi-line, that's by the way a variable name, multi-line string, that contains this data. Multi-line, multi-line, that the spellings are wrong here. I just written multi-line. Anyways, if you call that print function, the print will display this string as it is, like it is there. So let's see and by the way, the same multi-line string kind of fashion, remember that is used for comments as well. If you have comments that span on multiple lines, you can use this. So this multi-line string really is, if it is not saved in a variable and used as it is somewhere in the code, then that acts as a multi-line comment. Great. So let's practice the multi-line string in Jupyter Notebook. Let's see. So let's say we have a variable a that is a multi-line string, and let's say the string is, this is line 1, then we have this is line 2, and then we have this is last line, and this line is 3. That's it. Okay, great. That's a multi-line string. Let's see if we print a, what happens. So this is line 1, this is line 2, this is last line, and this line is 3. Why this? This is shifted 1 character right. Oh, there is a space here. Let's remove that space if not required and run this again. Wow, because space is a character that will be printed if you want. Okay, what if you really want the following kind of stuff? You have, let's say, print. So what you really do is you want to print the following way. The following options are available, and the options are, let's say, tab, let's say hyphen a, and that does hyphen a, that does nothing, and then we have, let's say, hyphen b, and that also does nothing. Let's say you want our message to be printed in such a way. What will happen? Let's see. Okay, the following options are available. Hyphen a does nothing. Hyphen b, I mean, all this is a string, multi-line string. These characters that you think they are not there, these are spaces, and they are, I mean, the spaces are printed here. The spaces are printed here where you're seeing nothing is printed. These are the spaces that are printed there. So sometimes this multi-line string, it helps to format our message in a way that we like. So that's helpful in most of the cases. Further, if you write this multi-line, by the way, if you write this multi-line comment in the start and end of any code script, that means if you write this multi-line way of defining the strings at the start and end of any code script, that code script is commented. That we have seen several times earlier as well. So for example, in problem solving, remember that we define all oh yeah, so that's the comment. That's a comment. Even if some code is written inside, that will not be executed, right? Okay, so that's about the multi-line string. In the next video we will see, because the string really is basically a collection of all these characters. What if we want to access a particular character? For example, this is the first character is T here, the second character is H, the third character is I, the fourth character is S, the fifth character is space, and all that. What if we want to access particular characters inside the string, because a string contains a lot of characters. What if we want to play with some of the characters inside the string? How can we access different characters? For example, if I want to access seventh character of the string, how can we do that? So let's see in the next video, how can we index different characters inside a string. Hope to see you in the next video.